Check, check. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Testing 1 2. Got about an 8-second delay there. Not too bad, not too bad. Eight minutes until we go live. Yeah, I think I've got the music turned down just a little bit here. Let's try that one more time there. Another mic check with the music there. For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. Well, altcoins have been doing okay today. Had some pretty decent moves out of some of those. Okay, we're getting ready to start. Five, four, three, two, one. And welcome to the live stream, everyone. My name is Lane, your crypto road dog, helping to guide you through this crazy world we call crypto. And looking here, crypto bubbles. Not bad for the day. I like seeing green for the day. And there are some of these coins that we need to take a close look at because we got some good bottoming prices still on some of these that we've not seen in months. For some reason, Hex is just looking interesting to me. So we'll get this started with the usual Bitcoin chart. How many of you guys like that price action today? When everybody's also bearish, a few days they were talking about 12 and 10K again. Can you believe that? But we're not out of the woods yet, though. You see this white trend line that we have going on here? Is that a bearish retest? Or we got potential to break above it? That's what I'm waiting on. Because if we can't get above that level. If we can't get up here around 27,008 in that area, oh, we could be looking at some more downside. Not fun, but it is kind of interesting here. 4 hours, we're in a red cloud. Come over to the daily, we're in a green cloud. Normally, green clouds will spit us to the downside, right? Looking at the weekly, we're in the red cloud. Normally spits us out to the upside, right? Now my charts are kind of messy here, but let me see if I can find one. Not quite as cluttered up. And here's a good example. But you see this little sliver green after that red cloud? I take that as a very good sign. So over these next few weeks, we could definitely see some ups and downs. Okay, definitely could. I mean, all the way back to 25,000, it could happen. I'm not seeing it at the moment. The weekly is looking a little bit bearish there, though. Definitely could get a pullback, but just seeing that little sliver of green right there, well, that just makes me want to smile inside. Makes me feel a little more safe and secure. Can't really say that about my Ledger wallet right now, though. But, ooh, what a day for Ledger. How to fall from grace so easily. And since it's just me and my lonesome, this is a great time to talk about a new wallet. And now this company reached out to me. They actually sent me this wallet that I'm testing out, and I'm going to do a video on it after I get a little bit more familiar with it and everything. But I thought it was a very unique concept. Uses your smartphone, so it's kind of like your Exodus. If you have used Exodus Wallet or Trust Wallet, things like that, you got the app that you can use really easily from your phone. But instead of getting out a Ledger device and plugging it in or hooking up Bluetooth, which, you know, I'm kind of skittish on Bluetooth anyway, it uses NFC and a card. Looks like a credit card. So instead of punching those little tiny buttons in and going through all that on the Ledger or the Trezor, you just tap it with your card. Now, they don't use the typical seed phrase. This card, the chip on it, generates your private key. And you make backup copies with extra cards, and you can store them in a safe, bank deposit, bury it in the ground, however you want to do it, and it will withstand being buried in the ground. They're very durable. Just a really neat concept, and I've been using this wallet, moving some coins over there, and I will be moving some off of my Ledger over to this wallet, just because, well, I don't like the direction that Ledger's going, and Trezor, I've got one of those too. Don't really like the way they're going. A move to KYC, a hardware wallet, is where they're trying to take us, and I'm not going in that direction. The code for this wallet is, as every wallet code should be, open source. But for some of you guys, you may not remember the old school way to generate a wallet, where you use a wallet generator like bit address, and you just kind of come on here and you make some random designs and it will generate a wallet key for you. So let's have some fun and do that right now. These are a very safe backup plan to have, especially for your Bitcoin. Boom. And this is what true wallet keys look like. This is what we used to have to type in. And here's your secret key, right? That's what you used to have to write down before we got it with seed phrases. But now with Tangem, that is stored on the chip on the card. But there's two very safe wallet options I just gave you right here. The old school way, doing a paper wallet, and the new cutting edge way with Tangem Wallet. I recommend you check it out, tangem.com. They have an app on the App Store and on the Play Store on Android. You can just go ahead and download that, and you can order directly from that app too. And if you use the code DAWG DOG, you get 10% discount on your purchase. You want to get at least 2 of these cards. I think that's how they sell them, at least by 2. You can get a 3-pack. Very affordable, a lot cheaper than the Ledger, and so much easier to use. All right, and taking another look at quickly at crypto bubbles. See what's going on with the hour here. Hex is struggling. There may be some news there that I am not aware of, but usually that's a pretty decent price to pick up Hex. So Bitcoin, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Well, looking here on the hourly, I like it. You can see how our moving averages just got all bunched up together here. Price is above the 200 on the 1 hour, holding that 9 moving average. And during an uptrend, that's how you stay on top of an uptrend. That 9 moving average will definitely help you and give you some insight there. Starting to get tired, so it needs to come back down and retest, the 21, which is making its way over the 50 and soon to make it over the 200. Now, all these are poised to jump over that 200, which spells out a move is coming. Now, jumping to the 4 hour. We can see that our moving averages are crossing here too. The 21 crossed bullishly over the 50. And I've got this little sliver of a yellow line there we need to delete. And that's our 9. Now when our 9 crosses that 50, that'll be a much stronger move coming for that too. Gradually making it up to 100 and gradually making it up to the 200 moving average. And that'll be about 28,300. So that's what I am looking at overall. Now, just trying to make sense of Bitcoin here. Let me go back to my other chart. And it is a little bit messy. I'm going to have to clear out some of these targets and lines here. But this line here, bringing a copy of it down, fitting it as nicely as I can to find touches. And we do have support there. We have this intense bear trap there. Kind of maybe what we're looking at. Similar situation. We've talked about that before. And we also got touches up here, right? So we broke that. That has a measured move. And that could bring us down to this area. 22,686. I mean, it's possible. But we also have to take into account this new information that we have, right? And we keep getting these bear traps. Well, we got to look at that. So let me see if we can get somewhere and see if I can clear out just some of this mess I've got here. Some of these are support and resistance areas I've got. I think I want to keep those. There was a measured move there. Let's just get rid of some of this clutter so we can. I don't want to get rid of that yet, though. Some of these trend lines are from much smaller time frames. And we'll take this measure move stick, just put it right back over there. Now we can kind of see my chart just a little bit better. All right, this is the daily KuCoin chart. I trade on KuCoin a lot, although I am starting to do more and more on MexC. And we had this area right here, right under this candle close, touch these candle wicks here. This was an area of resistance that we are actually breaking above at the moment. Haven't got a complete candle close there, but that's a very positive sign. Come over here to our regular candles and we've already made it above there. We're just retesting it. So some good signs if you ask me for Bitcoin. The biggest thing that gave me a tip off to this, one of the things I look at, is this big long wick. When we came down to this area and we made this big wick, well, that's a good reversal sign. So we had a touch here on this trend line, because out of this rising channel, we do the same thing. We draw a trend line connecting our tops, bring that down, find out where it matches the best, we find a channel. And when it wicked down and then wicked back up, I like that. Now we're at a partial decline area, or about a halfway mark here. And we got a good chance to find support here and continue up. And the 1 hour showing that could definitely be on the table. Because those moving averages look pretty sweet. So let me just clear this up. Now, some other things that we want to take a look at, because I'm sure you guys are all interested in altcoins and how the altcoins are going to perform. And that is going to have a lot to do with Bitcoin and how Bitcoin performs. And to see that, we got to take a look at Bitcoin dominance, which is wanting to move up. Okay. We got a little trifecta going on here with our moving averages. They are bullishly crossing over that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Price is already above that, trying to get above this 100 moving average. The signs are pointing that Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. And now when that happens, altcoins suffer, especially in Bitcoin when compared to Bitcoin. It means that Bitcoin will be outperforming the altcoins. So money will be moving out of altcoins into Bitcoin. And at this point of the game, at the in the 4-year cycle, you can see that where Bitcoin just steals the show and it just punishes the altcoins. Now, is that good or is that bad? It depends on how you look at it. Is the glass half full or half empty? Because if you didn't get those bargain prices back in November and December on these altcoins, you got a chance to do that on some of them now. And we'll take a look at some of that. But this is, depending on how you look at it, an opening broadening pattern. And it's actually just, it's kind of like a reverse symmetrical triangle is really how to look at this. So this thing can do some crazy stuff, but at the moment it looks like it does want to come back up, and we'll have to keep an eye on that just to see, because if we get rejected up here at the area that dominance has been rejected, back over here, here, and here, if we get rejected one more time and forces us down, we could be looking at a nice little mini altcoin season. However, Bitcoin starts to take off. If big institutional money just kind of sneaks in and decides to buy, if something pushes that price up and we come up here and break above that, Bitcoin will steal that show and altcoins will be punished. So we want to see rejection. We just want this to range for a little while. So that's what we're watching for our altcoins. Speaking of altcoins, checking out Total 2 is our second metric to look at to kind of gauge altcoins and how close we are to altcoin season. So keeping a very close eye on this, because it's a very interesting pattern, inverse head and shoulders. It has been completed, broke out. Now we're coming back on what we call a pullback. As long as this price doesn't, or as long as this level doesn't come below here, this other head, it's technically still valid. However, I like to draw a trend line connecting those, and it's been holding that. So by my analysis, as long as we stay above this dotted line, we're pretty good. And if we can just get back above this area right here at 579 billion, we just need a few more billion to come back into the altcoins. That could be bullish, but the moving averages, they're looking a little rough. I'll be honest with you. There may be a retest of this 200. In other words, altcoin season may be slow coming, because it looks by the charts that most of the money will be going into Bitcoin. And even if we do get a rise up here on the Total 2, we've got to see it get back above this area here before we can really see some performance out of our altcoins. All right, so there's a few coins I want to go over. If any of you guys show up and want to request a coin, please do that. Otherwise, it's just me hanging out and looking at some of the coins that I'm into and I'm interested in. Now, one I want to take a look at is Filecoin, because it's getting a nasty hit from the SEC right now, calling it a security. And it's a mineable coin. You mine this with hard drives. So it was pretty much a given, as far as I knew, that the mining coins or mineable coins were pretty much not on the security list. So I'm curious about whether if it's actual Filecoin or if it's the actual Grayscale Filecoin Trust this being labeled as a security, or are they trying to label them both as a security? Anyway, that's all we need. It's just the SEC to make FUD on all the coins that we're trying to change our lives with, right? Does it seem fair to you? It doesn't seem fair to me. But let's take a look at Filecoin. I'm looking for it on KuCoin, but I am not finding that so easily right now. Oh, I just passed it up. Because I know I've got it charted over here on KuCoin. Daily chart. Nice rounded bottom shape. One of the key things I look for, falling wedge pattern. So we are still in our accumulation zone with Filecoin. Got up as high as $9 in February, and we had that parabolic move. I'm gonna keep repeating this until everybody starts to see it. When you lose that parabola, sideways and down, reaccumulation, and look where we're at, 433. These are some great buy targets, in my opinion, for Filecoin. Now, can it come lower? Oh, we got Grizz in the house. Take a look at Axie. We will do that. Looking for a short at 778. What do you think? Oh, we'll take a look at that. Let me just wrap up here with a Filecoin. Now, I do have a bunch of targets here from some previous analysis, and these targets they still hold weight. So I'm not going to touch those. Not going to leave those alone. Just looking at some possibilities. If there may be, is there a chance? Could be a chance. Kind of breaks my rounding structure there, but these kings can be elongated. But if things do go south for Filecoin, I would be definitely targeting this $3.40 area. It hasn't been there since January last year, or January this year. So definitely a possibility that could happen. And this is one that I have been stuck in for a long-term hold. So at the moment, that would be the next target I would look if this breaks down. Looking on the daily, you could interpret this as a bear flag. However, I think if we come to the smaller time frames, we may see a breakout. But the daily is showing some upward momentum at the moment. Actually, our indicators look pretty good for Filecoin. So I anticipate that we are working our way back up to this 21, probably about 486. And hopefully from there, we will move to the 200. Our other moving averages they're a little bit bearish. So, Filecoin's going to have a little bit of struggle, but I would look at this area at 334. The whole market would really have to come, or the SEC really targeting Filecoin to reach this 271. But let's just put that on the radar too, because these are some very good bottoming targets right there. Also, you can do that a different way. If you take a regular standard move, usually those targets will kind of line up with, often, not every time, the 786, 886 levels. So just doing your standard fib, those are some good target areas as well. All right, let's take a look at Axie. For my man Grizz. And let's just go ahead and go with Binance. They probably have the best price history anyway. So Grizz is thinking about taking a short, 778. Well, they're showing a little bit of bullish divergence there. It's very slight on the RSI. I got it on the momentum waves here on Market Cipher. Stochastics are kind of getting up there. That would definitely go in your favor there. See if we can see what our MACD says. MACD's ready to go on the daily. So you said about 778. Actually, if it were me, I think I would target that 200 EMA. It looks like the 100 wants to cross over that. And that's definitely bearish if that happens. Right now it's above it. And it could throw us off for a loop, and all of these could cross over there. Let's just start out with the weekly first. I always like to check out my bigger time frames, see what the big guys are saying. Big guys are, MACD's kind of iffy, but RSI is not looking too bad. The weekly stochastics already started to go to the upside. And VWAP, it's not happening yet, but soon there will be a green dot. That doesn't mean that there's not a good short to be had in here on the lower time frames. But the 1 hour looks bullish. So that would come in with this level, this support level that you're looking at there. And it could, but look, it wicked above it, man. So, I mean, if you're putting a short there, just depending on what your leverage is, whew, they may wick you out. That went up kind of high. So that could take out a lot of leverage traders there. To me, it looks bullish. I don't know if I would actually be shorting this. Just my take. But the 4 hours still RSI is kind of high there, isn't it? Okay, so I see why you got some interest in it. But usually when I see the cloud, when we break above that red and we got these little slivers of green over here, that's usually a strong signal, and especially the way these moving averages, the way those angles are. With that 9 crossing that 100 with that sharp of an angle, I'll say it looks like it will come up to your target too short pretty quickly. I would just be concerned if it's going to do something like this. Maybe layering into a short could be an option, but I got a feeling that Grizz knows his way around trading. He's probably one that could probably give me some more advice. But to me, this just looks bullish. Not saying that there's not a short there, because you got to break out, especially following wedge. You do have a chance to come back down to retest, and I'm sure that there will be a retest. But keep me up, keep me informed on how that short works out. I got the feeling that the Grizz is a very savvy trader. But this level right here, about 939, that looks interesting. That's going to be a kind of a challenging area for it to go to, but let's see. We got our low or high, higher low, lower high, and then a lower low. So I mean, the price action is technically, bearish. I don't know of any news, but it just kind of looks like maybe there's some news out on this or something that's kind of giving a little price increase for. That's a big wick today, man. That's a good 25% move that happened. I guess yesterday. So what gets wicked gets candlesticks. So that 850 area. We could actually go back up to there again. But keep me informed, Grizz. I want to know about that. See how that trade works out for you. Tyson's asking for Adam. That was actually on my list of ones to do. I am an Adam holder. Staker. Recommend that everybody do that with their Adam, because you can get some airdrops that way. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Appreciate you stopping by, supporting the road dog. Now, in my opinion, that anytime Adam gets around the $10 level, or especially under, it's a good time to accumulate. You don't see it go below $8 dollars very often. It did over here. That was June when we had the big drop. Wow, got some great prices on Atom then. We haven't seen that since. In December, we got down to 848. And I should have accumulated more of that then. I picked up some, but I could have really stacked up my bags a lot better there. But usually when it gets in the $10 range, I'll pick up a little bit more and just add it and put it to my stake. But currently we are in a falling channel. Now that's actually a bullish pattern. And that gives you about a 64 to 68% chance to break to the upside on those. Although, I mean, this is on the daily time frame. It's going to take this a while to play out. Currently, stochastics are a little bit in the oversold area. It's got a little mixture of indicators here. Some a little bit bearish and some a little bit bullish. So it's still got some room for stochastics to go up. I do like that VWAP is above the 0 line and headed up. Money flow is coming to the upside. So it may be a little jangly, kind of, you know, sideways trading and everything, but we've got a wick down here, got another wick in that area. Could be kind of a bottom situation. I did have a target down here at 9.99 and we have not hit that yet. Now, is there a chance that we can still do that? Possibly. Because our 100 moving average tilted down, looks like it's aiming for that 200. So we may see a little bit more downside. Ichimoku Cloud kind of suggests that, you know, we could have some more downside here too. But right now on the daily, we're riding above that 9 moving average, and that's bullish. Okay. We just got to see that now that the 9 crosses at 21 and starts working its way up. I mean, we can move all the way back up to 1157. This is our main thing to look at, is that daily 200 moving average. When we're below that, we're technically bearish. We break above it, we are bullish. A good little trick is to look at the 4-hour during all this, because this will be your preliminary. When you see that happen on here, especially when you see this blue line, that's a 50 moving average, cross over that 200 on the 4-hour, that's your buy signal. Your first one will probably be when the green 9 crosses that. Now, on the 4-hour, check this out. This is bullish. All these moving averages getting really tight right here. The 9 is crossed over the 21 and the 100. You gotta really blow this up just to see that. So we got some upside coming on the shorter time frames. That looks great to me. So the shorter time frame says that we can definitely come up here to about 1124. That's going to be our target that we're headed to, probably a little bit above it. So Atom's looking a little bit bullish to me. There is possibly, if we can establish a good neckline, and I believe we can. Looks like an inverted head and shoulders is trying to form here. Possible inverted head and shoulders. We say possible because things can change, right? It's not confirmed until it is confirmed. So it's easy to get in a habit. It's easy to lose all my little tools here. It's easy to get in a habit where you kind of call things ahead of time. You see some people do that on YouTube. But my mentor pretty much, drove it in my head. Possible is the terms that we should be using. Because until it gets up to this neckline, this can turn out to be lots of different things. So it's a possible head and shoulders. So if we do come back up to this 1125 area, break above it, flip it as support. Oh, we're going. We're going to do good. And that does have a measured move target. Could put Atom up to 1251. I don't like that. So let me just mark that as a measured move. Or the head and shoulders, and this is what the 4 hour. This is the 4 hour time frame. That's a pretty good time frame to be working with here. Now, when take a look at it on the 1 hour, I think we just did that, didn't we? And that's kind of where we saw some of the bullishness, where that 9 was crossing that 100. That's a great sign. So, me personally, I would trade this on the 4 hour, keep that as my base, and then I would use the 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, whatever, just to nail my entry. So and you know, this, like we said, this is a possible inverted head and shoulders. And breakout traders, you know, will wait for a breakout of this area, and the smarter ones will wait for a retest of that area, which doesn't always come. But guys like me like to front run this, and we like to buy at the bottom of these areas. So I would be looking at a retest of this 100 moving average right there. What is it, about 1090? And I would be coming down to a 15 minute or a 5 minute chart. And how I would work that out, I'd be targeting this 200 right there. Because eventually it's going to come back here and test that. It is definitely going to come back and test this 50 at 1092. And I think that's the target that we had on the 4 hour, or 1 hour just now, 4 hour. That's how these moving averages work here. The 9 and the 21 crossed the 100 after crossing the 50. Usually how this happens, it'll come back, retest the 21, and it could take off from there and just go crazy. Could. But usually they will, you know, got the little numbers. Can I show it over here? It's going to hide it. Not a good example. But if we cross back, it just goes in order. Lose that 21, it's going to go to the 50. And then it's going to do the 100. And if it can't go over the 100, it'll come back down to the 200. And if it finds support there, it'll go back up to the 100. And then from the 100, it'll test the 50. And then the 21. And then the 9. It just goes through a series like that most of the time. I like moving averages. They make life a little... they can shed light on price action where you don't normally get it in some other areas. Some other thing, oh, the 5 minute looks actually pretty nice with the cloud there. But I do think you can shave a few cents off of this, but it does looks pretty bullish to me in short term. Tyson says, thanks, dog. And I say, no problem, my pleasure. And I think we had that, and we got a measured move there. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a copy of this. Copy that link. And just post it over here in the chart room. Adam, 4 hour. And it's not even typing. Try that one more time. Just put possible. Target in blue. And now it's there for the group to see. All right. Now, one other coin that's it's actually one that I'm stacking for long term, and I've been accumulating it slowly, is Near Protocol. And I have not looked at this for a little while. And I think the last time we had an inverted head and shoulders. What is that line? What kind of crazy measure move is that from? Oh, okay, from our... Always helps us zoom out. Okay, so Near was in a falling wedge, and it does have a measured move. and it may take this thing all year to play out. But that measure move does, and we actually got the breakout now, so it's not projected. So do I need to fine tune it? It's pretty much right there. So it could be seeing $5.51 out of near sometime. Now what it's doing currently is not the funnest thing that we see when we get a pullback or a retest. Let me go ahead and get rid of that head and shoulders and some of these little noisy lines I've got there. So when you get a breakout of the falling wedge, you've got like a 64% chance to retest one of two areas, or maybe both. This one did both. Retest the breakout area, which was right here. That didn't hold. Your next area is to retest the actual trend line. Now it has not actually touched that trend line. So in those cases, I just want to take a look, make sure I've got my touches in the right places, tighten it up a little bit, and then see, well, do you have a touch there? Okay, so we just have not made it down there, and we may still come back down and touch this trend line, and we may see $1.19. That trend line is still valid there, and I'd have a measured move from somewhere at 218. It's been so long since I looked at this chart that I cannot remember. That's why I need to write those in when I do my measured moves. But we're showing some divergence here. Prices coming down, indicators. This one, the RSI is flat, so that's some weak bullish divergence. But we did find support here. This area where we had support back November 22. This could be a bottom area. Maybe that's why we didn't actually come back down to retouch that trend line. I don't know. Maybe we still could just drop straight down and go at 125, 119 in that area. Line up with this area over here too. So it's possible. But the daily says, it's got a chance to come up for a little bit. Nothing drastic, nothing great, but this is just one that I accumulate because, buying something around $1 to $2 and selling it at 19 or 20, a 10x. Yeah, I'm cool with that. It's just going to take it a while to get there. Here's asked, what do you see with opacity? It's a good time to look at that one. Well, I see that we're still in our rounding bottom shape. And I mean, it's dipped below my little line, but these lines are kind of subjective in that way. So I'm not alarmed by that at all. But we had her move up, and now we're going to accumulate. I hope that we're not making a bigger bottom or a bigger rounded shape. But it's definitely possible. We could be coming back down and retest these areas and, kind of make the double bottom scenario. That happens sometimes with these formations here. Ooh, I don't want to ride that, though. I do like the Ichimoku cloud getting really thick there. That's a good sign. Let's see, we got price action is going to the downside. Starting to level out here like it was on some of the, I've seen this on several coins where we're getting some very slight bearish divergence. I think this is class B or something. Where our price is angling down, but our trend line or our RSI is just, it's kind of flat. Actually, that one's got just a little bit of an angle down, so not the greatest bullish divergence there. I do like that cloud. That gives me some hope there. Stochastics are down at the bottom and on the daily here. Those moving averages, though, I am not impressed there. That looks bearish to me. But I do like that we're in a falling wedge pattern. So since we are just below the 200 on the daily, which is bearish, but we're just below it, I mean, we got a chance to recover that 9 and for these to kind of move up, but still, this little 50s guy's, he's trying to do a kamikaze dive down here at this 200. Don't want to see that happen. How is the weekly? The weekly? Stochastics are dead at the bottom there. Man, money flow's going down. The VWAP is going up just a little bit. There's a few hopeful signs there, but just kind of some mixed signals there. This is not the most bullish look here. I would really hate to see this price come down more. See if we missed anything here. That falling wedge could actually be extended out. Which could give us another measured move, and we already have that target at 0.018. The price is coming in at what, 0.009? Well, it has dropped, hasn't it? Coming over to the 4 hour. 4 hours just kind of is just driving down, isn't it? Touch, touch, touch. Haven't quite made that touch there. Maybe it's trying to round out. That'd be a good sign. See, so there's some divergence. So 4 hour does have some bullish divergence. The daily didn't quite have it. We do have it on the 4 hour on the wave table and also here on the RSI. Let's put those at the candle bodies there coming down. Stochastics are starting to get a little top heavy there. VWAP's coming down. It still doesn't look, it's not bullish yet. Oh wow. So that's our next level. Look at it is 0.007. Not crazy about that. And 0.004. Let's hope that we don't do that, but like, it's possible. With this accumulation pattern, that is definitely a possibility. So we could look at, where'd you go, man? You know, a much bigger rounding bottom. That is not going to be fun to ride. I may have to set a stop loss on this accumulation here. Because we can play this way for a while. So unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything really bullish other than the pattern that we could possibly break out of. 68% chance, right? Sometimes better than that. But my moving averages, I'm not seeing it there yet. I really want to see it get above that on the 4 hour. And even to see it just get above the 200 on the 1 hour. That would make me feel a lot better. And it doesn't look like it wants to do that, man. It looks like it wants... Well, the 9 is above the 21. That's actually good, but price action is below both of them. So it looks like the 9 is getting ready to cross bearishly over that 21 and drive us down, probably down to these levels again at 0.093. But maybe, yeah, there is kind of a rounding here, and that may be what we need to come back up to the top of the pattern. But it's looking just a little rough at the moment. But definitely not the place to sell to get out yet, in my opinion. Where would that line be? Probably here at 0.088, right through there, 83. That might have to be my line in the sand there. Because if we break that, we break downward out of this falling wedge. I mean, yeah, we can definitely see those possibly pretty quick. But this is one that I've got a bag of this I'm holding. I don't know how well that this one will do. I mean, there's some things with the project that it's a working project. It's up and running. It's definitely working. I like it. We're in a much bigger falling wedge that should get us back up to around those areas of about 7 cents. So we should be able to see at least 5-10x out of this. It has had some very impressive prices on up to 60 cents in the past there, and that would be great to go back up to those levels even. I don't know how long I'm going to be in this one, but I am accumulating it just because I like the possibility of it making a lot of X's. So this is a price area I want to keep an eye on here, about 5 cents, 5.5 cents. Definitely want to see it break up above that. Now, if it breaks up above that, that's probably an area I'm going to be looking at moonbagging or taking a lot of my profit. But if we break up above that, definitely look at holding this longer. But this is one that I have been accumulating because I like the rounded bottom, and it's a long, drawn-out accumulation event. But it needs some bullish help right now. So I don't want to see a double bottom. I'd rather just see it pop out of that rounded structure. But on the daily, this indicator these are the waves, momentum waves are bottoming out, right? There's not too much further they can go, a little bit, but not much. So maybe we'll see this falling wedge hold true. Sorry, I can't give you much more than that. It's just it's not giving me much bullish to work with right there. But I'm in there with you. Rune is another one. Haven't bought any in a while, but it's starting to get into some prices that I like. I'm on Rune BTC. No wonder that looked weird. You can see how Bitcoin is just smashing everything. All the altcoins are just coming down to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's just outperforming all the altcoins, losing their value against Bitcoin. And when you're trying to do altcoins with the purpose of growing your Bitcoin, yeah, these are good places to buy with Bitcoin. But man, how long is it going to take me before I'm in profit in Bitcoin? Gosh, where are you, buddy? There you are. So I was looking at this with the rounded structure, and that's broken. And it's been a while since I looked at when was this? In August? At least on KuCoin anyway. Not crazy about that either, but I mean, it is a rounding structure, and sometimes you have to redraw them. It's not the most accurate. Curved lines are not the most accurate, but they do give you an idea of what's going on. And when I get those curved lines and I see a triangle formation in there, those are the bottom structures that I like. They usually end up playing out well. Just takes them a little bit of time to do that. So Rune is on my radar for accumulation. Definitely in a good accumulation zone. Haven't seen this since back in November with Rune. And from those bottoms, I mean, that was about 70% return from where it is now, about $1.13. Going back to 194 is not bad. Not bad. So I may have to get on my margin account and look at maybe accumulating some of this, but the indicators are like some of the other altcoins. Don't want to see that cross right there, that 100 over that 200. Oh, and if Rune ever gets below $1, oh yeah, definitely a buy area. But at the moment, it looks like there may be a possible double bottom here. And couple that with a little bit of bearish divergence, MACD starting to move to the upside. It may be at a local bottom right now at $1.19. Meaning that we got a shot to at least come back up to this 200 moving average, this 0.382 area. May get a little hiccup around $1. Where was that? $1.34 may give us a little bit of a hiccup. About 10%, 20%. Just one that's on my radar. Chris says, thanks, Lane. Hey, I appreciate it, man. No problem. I'm glad you tuned in. All right, guys. It is about 12:30. I can cover a few more. If you guys got something else you want to take a look at, just throw it in the chat. Right now, I want to take a look at... Actually, I'm going to do this. I want to take a look at what Litecoin. A lot of people give this one a hard time. I used to be a Litecoin miner. I've still got a Litecoin mine machine that my wife won't let me run inside the house, so it's just sitting there. It is kind of loud. It does get a little bit hot. But that was one of the coins I used to mine. And would love to do it too. The plan was to put a, I just got a new house about a year ago, so I don't yet have a shed outside. That was the game plan, but that has not yet came into fruition. But once I do that, I'll be cranking up the miners again. Well, come on, Litecoin. Where are you at on KuCoin? Killing me here, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. Well, let's just go with Coinbase. So sometimes Litecoin is a front runner for a Bitcoin move, You have to kind of keep an eye on Doge and Litecoin for those things. Well, I haven't looked at this in a while, have I? When was that? Oh, that's back in 21. So Litecoin, we probably won't see these $40, $50 prices anymore for a while with the halving coming up. Halving coming up in August. Trying to calculate when the last halving was here. So this one's, I believe, on the 4-year cycle like Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. Well, all crypto is basically on a 4-year cycle. So 23, so 2019. So I'm going to kind of guess that the halving was probably around this area. I'm just kind of speculating. So I had a nice little run up there. It would have been about this time frame from December to, ooh, that's a big run up. That's 500%. And we're at 100% now from where we were at these bottoms over here. But it looks like it's getting ready to come up to about 118. Retest that 200. And what about the 5-day chart there? The daily's where I wanted to be. Daily, we're above the 200. And now above the 100 moving average there. It's looking pretty snazzy to me. I like it. And maybe $1.23, $1.30, or $1.23, $1.32, maybe at a Litecoin. I do have some bags of Litecoin. That's why we're looking at it. All right, guys, I see nothing new in the chat, and one more coin that I wanted to do is Woo Network. It just got me curious. I've pretty much sold out of this position, so for maybe a tiny amount, but there's something about this one just kind of gnawing on me, because it's kind of mimicking the Total 2 thing. I just think this one's got some potential, and I do have a target up here. If this inverted head and shoulder does play out, we could be looking at 45 cents out of Woo, and that would be almost doubling your investment if you got in right now at 23 cents, which I think is a good price for Woo. So that's what I'm kind of looking at for myself. But now let's look closer at these moving averages here, because I'm not liking what I'm seeing now. So the 21 getting ready to cross over that 50, that's not going to be too fun. We are above the 100, so we are headed up to about 25. Get rejected either at that 50, more than likely that 21, or both, and probably come back down and then retest the 50. I'm just purely speculating on how these moving averages work for how price action may play out. Then from there, we could possibly come back up. So just want to keep an eye on it. It looks a little bit, it's got some rounding here. That looks promising. Come to the 4 hour. It's showing some promise that we're getting ready to come back up here about 26 cents. So short term, that's what I'll be looking for out of Woo. I don't really want to speculate much further than that. But I do like what I see here on the moving averages on the 4 hour. Those are lined up nicely to come up to test the 100 at 25 and the 200 at 26. And then we kind of have to reassess it from there. But if we can get back up to this neckline at 28 cents, got a chance to reach 40, what was it, 45, almost 46 cents. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a stream, call it a night. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you haven't already, hit that like button for me. Help the stream reach some other people. The streams don't really get that much attraction as much as the videos do, but you know, the streams have got their place too, and I can't find Elvis anywhere. Come here, Elvis. For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. All right, guys, have a good night. Thank you so much for joining me on this unannounced stream. You guys are my troopers. Appreciate it. And we'll see if we can sign you out with something. I need to make some new stuff.
If you like what you see, then please subscribe, eh? And if you like what we do, then smash that like button too. And if you like to take it down, leave a comment down below. I like don't put down.